This video explains how to add margins to a contingency table using the addmargins function in the R programming language. So without too much talk, let's dive into the R code. In this video I will show you an example, and for this example we first need to create a data frame, as you can see in lines 1 to 3 of the code. So after running these lines of code, a new data frame object called data is appearing at the top right, and we can print this data frame to the bottom in the RStudio console by running line 4 of the code. And then you can see at the bottom in the RStudio console that we have created a data set containing 6 rows and the 2 columns x1 and x2. Now, if we want to create a contingency table based on these data, we have to apply the table function to this data frame, as you can see in line 6 of the code. And then I'm also storing the output of the table function in a new table object that I'm calling myTab. So after running line 6 of the code, this new table object is appearing at the top right, and we can print this table to the bottom in the RStudio console by running line 7 of the code. And then you can see that we have created a contingency table based on our input data frame data. Now let's assume that we want to add certain margins to this table. Then we can apply the addmargins function, as you can see in line 9 of the code. So in this case, I'm applying this function to our contingency table that we have created in line 6. And then I'm also specifying what kind of values our margins should contain. So in this case, I want to calculate the sum. And then I'm adding the output of the addmargins function to a new data object that I'm calling tabSum. So after running line 9 of the code, this data object is created, and we can print the data object to the bottom in the RStudio console by running line 10. And then you can see that we have created a new table object which contains the contingency table that we have created before. And in addition to that, this table contains the sum values that correspond to the rows and columns of our contingency table. Alternatively to that, we could also specify other functions within the addmargins function. So for instance, we could calculate the margins based on the mean function, as you can see in line 12 of the code. So in this line of code, I'm creating another table which is called tabMean, and we can print this table to the RStudio console as well. And then you can see that we have created different margin values. So this time the margins contain the mean values of the corresponding rows and columns. That's all I wanted to explain in this video. In case you want to learn more on this topic, you may check out my homepage statisticsglobe.com, because on my homepage I have recently published a tutorial in which I'm explaining the content of this video in some more detail. I will put a link to this tutorial into the description of the video, so you can find it there. If you have liked this video, or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below. I'll try to respond to all comments as soon as I can. Furthermore, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notified about future video releases. I have already published about 500 videos on this channel, and I'm releasing new videos on a daily basis. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video.